Happy holidays, everybody. Just over a week away from Christmas. That's nuts. Personally, my favorite time of the year. Just a lot of excitement and joy from this month between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I can say that now because I have all my shopping out of the way. It's our last episode of the Knights of the Round Table before Christmas. Remember, every episode of KRT is on the Bellarmine Athletics YouTube page. This is number 8 since we started the podcast just a couple of months ago. You can find the links and clips across our social media platforms at BU Knights. Senior swimmer Matthew Sims was a great conversation last week, but we're back to hoops, and this time of the year, that gets a lot of attention. It's hard to believe the non-conference schedule for women's and men's hoops is almost done. It's a great time to talk to a senior, a captain, Mount Washington, Kentucky native, and the heart and soul of the women's basketball team, Kathleen Scott. Kathleen, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Do people call you Kathleen or Lean more?
Lean. They definitely call me Lean more.
Okay, so in official settings or emails or whatever, it's Kathleen, but around your family and friends, it's Lean.
Oh, yes. Yeah, emails, professors, all professionals call me Kathleen, and then everyone else calls me Lean.
I'm experiencing the same thing right now. My full name's Jackson. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you saw that in the email. And anytime I get like an email from someone I haven't met or talked to a whole lot, they're like, "Hey, Jackson." I'm like, "Oh."
Jack.
Yeah, right. So did your parents call you Lean growing up?
Yes, my mom started calling me Lean. My younger sister, Caroline, it was always Lean in line. She would call Caroline Line and me Lean. And then throughout basketball, it's a lot easier to say Lean on the court than it is Kathleen when you're trying to get my attention. So it kind of just stuck.
Right. I didn't know if that was a Coach Dugan thing because, like you said, coaches just want to bark out something short.
Yeah, no, well, my mom actually was my first coach. So she kind of pioneered the name Lean. And then all my friends just started calling me that as I grew up.
How long did she coach you for?
She started coaching me in second grade, so I guess she wasn't my first coach. I started playing in kindergarten, and then she created an AAU team with all of our locals, so she coached me through second grade up until high school. She was actually the JV coach in high school, so she was the assistant coach there, and then she was also my middle school coach. So she coached me throughout my entire life.
Did you like it?
Yes and no. She definitely pushed me very hard, and I did not get a lot of praise from her. It was always there was always something I could do better, which has helped me become the player I am today. So I appreciate that, and we have a very special relationship now because of that. So.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's the case a lot with coaches' daughters and sons. You know, they push you, and in the moment, it's like, man, can you just tell me I'm doing something right?
Right, exactly, yeah.
But hindsight, you look back and you're like, well, I'm very thankful for that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm very thankful for my mom to be able to coach me throughout my life.
Absolutely. So I mentioned it's the holidays as I introed us. What's your favorite thing about the holidays and Christmas?
Oh my goodness, just being home, having everything decorated, getting to see all my family. My fiance and I, we get to go to his family, so we're like bouncing around all day. We get to see all of our family that we usually don't get to see very often. So that's just fun, being able to bounce around to everybody and see everybody.
How long have you been engaged?
I've been engaged. Let's see, it'll be 2 years now. Yeah, it'll be 2 years, and we get married this July.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're right in the middle of the big planning process, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
How's that going?
It's going okay. It's going slowly. That's why I'm glad we had a long engagement, because I knew that I'll have basketball in school, so we're just taking it very slow. So we have some things locked down, but we still have some things that we have to get done. So
you've kept the anxiety at a minimum for the most part?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I've been trying to, like right now it's basketball season. I'm very focused on basketball season. If I get a day off, I'm usually trying to do a little stuff for the wedding. But it'll all come together.
Right.
It'll all get done.
Well, I can relate to you on that front. I'm engaged and we're getting married in June.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and we will have been engaged for about 2 years when we get married.
Right.
So longer engagement, fiance finishing up pharmacy school, me trying to find a job. Like, people usually go like a year, but I don't see anything wrong with going 2 years to make sure you have everything shored up.
Correct. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I'm so glad that we had a longer engagement because I know for me, I wouldn't have gotten everything done that I wanted to. So to be able to have everything the way I want and is able to put a little bit of or not have as much stress on me.
Right.
So.
Well, you'll have a lot more time to plan for all that stuff coming up in March, April.
Correct. So yeah. So right now, main focus is just the team and basketball.
Absolutely. So again, back to the holidays. I have so many questions I like to ask a lot of people, but what's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie, it's an old movie, but it's called Holiday Inn.
Huh.
It has Bing Crosby in it, and he has a bunch of different like holiday songs, and it's about he buys this inn. And he only opens it for the holidays, and it starts out at Christmas, and then he goes through all the different holidays. We always watch it during Christmas, but that's my favorite movie.
I've never even heard of that.
It's like in black and white. It's very old, but we always watched it with my dad, so that's probably my favorite Christmas movie.
That's great. Yeah. I expected the classics like Santa Claus, Christmas Vacation, whatever it is.
No, Holiday Inn is my favorite. It's an oldie but a goodie, I think. So. Would
you say that represents your taste in a lot of things? Like you like a lot of old school stuff?
Some like music. I like older music, but I also I like a good mix. I like a lot of newer movies, and I like a lot of older. So I would say I like a good mix of things. Okay,
that's fair. You just wrapped up finals. How'd that go?
It went good. I got the grades that I needed to get. So I'm applying to, actually, I just found out yesterday that I got into Kentucky's PT school. Oh. So that was really exciting for me. But I'm getting the grades that I need to get now to be able to continue to grad school. So I'm happy with my grades.
So you'll go to UK's PT school next year?
Correct. I'm still waiting to hear from Bellarmine. So we'll see how that goes. But it just depends.
Okay.
So we have some deciding to do.
Right. Yeah. Big decision.
Big decision.
Wedding.
Yes. Yeah.
Senior year of basketball. That's
a lot. It's a lot.
A lot going on for Kathleen Scott, who joins us here on KRT. Basketball takes up a lot of time for you, and I can now know what you do with your free time between the wedding and applying for PT school. But leisure-wise, what else do you like to do outside of basketball?
I love spending my time outdoors. I love hiking. I love going outside. I love going to new places. When it's warmer, I love to go kayaking. We have a park at Broad Run. It's right by my house. I love going kayaking there. Just going on different hikes locally in my park that's right beside my house. I really enjoy doing.
Best place you've ever hiked?
Best place I've hiked in Yellowstone.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I can't remember the name of the hike. It's been so long, but that was just such a beautiful place, and so many different hikes, and just being able to create your own path there, and you find so many beautiful things. It was one of my favorite trips I've ever been on.
Have you ever seen the show Yellowstone?
I absolutely love the show Yellowstone. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
I know, it's so good. I can't wait I think next weekend or this Sunday will be a good episode. Okay. So I'm excited.
So you're up to date on everything?
Oh, I'm up to date, yes.
Okay. So don't tell me what happened the last episode. Okay. I haven't watched it. But to be totally honest, I'm a little bit disappointed with how slow this season is.
I am too. And I think the first 2 episodes, it was so good and it was so action-packed. And then after that, it's just slowed down so like drastically, and it was like, oh, like where's all this action that we got the first 2 episodes? So hopefully it starts to pick back up. But I'm excited for the next episode.
They're building up to all this stuff. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah.
It's been 4 or 5 episodes. Let's go.
Let's go. I know. I agree. Yeah.
I'm happy that somebody else loves the show.
Oh yes,
It's great.
Definitely. I absolutely love John Dutton.
Yeah.
And Beth is a character.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I just love all the characters in that show.
Right. So was basketball always your main focus growing up?
Yes, basketball has always been my probably my main focus, as well as school. But sports wise, it has always been my main focus. I also played volleyball in high school, and I did AAU, which was really fun. I really enjoyed that. About all I would say, and I played softball a few years. I did track a couple years. But basketball has always been my first love, and has always been my main focus growing up.
Not surprised you dabbled in volleyball. Your cousin's Jamie Scott.
Oh, yes, and Elena Scott, who's in the Final Four right now for Louisville.
That's right.
It's really exciting. So, yeah, my dad's side of the family is big volleyball players. We have a lot of volleyball players on that side. So I grew up playing volleyball with them. So it's been really fun.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of your guys' schedules. Were you able to go to Freedom Hall to watch your cousin play?
I was not. I was where we were away that weekend.
Was that this past weekend
Yes.
going to Austin P?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, that's what we were at Austin P, and all of us were eating dinner, and we were watching Louisville play. We were all sitting around on our phones watching Louisville play at Freedom Hall. So that was exciting. But no, I wasn't able to come.
So I know it's preseason practice time during the fall of volleyball season, but are you able to go watch Jamie and Elena play quite a bit?
I wasn't able to see Elena. I watched Elena on TV, but I was able to come see Jamie some when she played here. So she always does a good job. I always enjoy watching her play. She's such a good hitter. I think she's so exciting to watch. So.
Who's the better athlete?
Oh, I don't know. Jamie is so powerful in what she does. I don't know. We're just definitely 2 different athletes, I would say. It's always competitive on the Scott side for Easter and really all the holidays we get together. We always have a big kickball game or volleyball game or some type of competition because all that side is all athletes, and we're very competitive, so that's always fun to get together and do.
First of all, what a political answer. Second of all, not surprised at all. I was hoping you'd just straight up say, I'm better. I mean, come on, let's be honest. But no, that's not surprising that you guys play kickball, volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic.
Oh, wiffle ball, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You a slugger?
Oh, no, but I'm not, but some of my cousins are. But that's just always so fun.
Yeah, I bet. So anytime people describe you, they always say she's the ultimate team player. Why do you think you're that way?
Well, as a point guard, you're kind of forced to be that. I think you're kind of forced into this leadership role. I think I've always tried to kind of bring everybody together, and that's just growing up. I've always tried to push people and try to make them better. I try to communicate as well as I can. I think growing up, in high school, I had Lindsay Duval as one of my teammates who was really good. She was Miss Kentucky basketball. And, I knew my role was not to have the most talent on the team, but my role was to communicate to everybody and, be a really good leader of making sure everyone was where they're at. So I think that kind of carried over to college. And being a point guard, making sure, everyone's in the right spot, everyone's on the same page, and just trying to be that leader. And that was my role coming into Bellarmine.
You seem like such a nice person. Have you ever, of course, have you ever yelled at anybody?
Yes, I have. I think my teammates know that I'm not really mad at them when I'm yelling at them. I think I can yell at people and I'm like, look, like you need to do this. And I think they can take my criticism. I I think they respect me enough to do that. So I've yelled at people when they need to be yelled at, but I don't think they don't find offense to that when I do.
Good. I can't picture it, but now that you describe it, I can. But yeah, I mean, that's part of leadership.
Right. Yeah. They know it's coming from a good place,
Right.
I think. And, off the court, I'm like, look, I'm back to myself. I'm not going to be screaming at you in the locker room after practice. It's, during practice in the game, if I need you to know something, I'll let you know.
Right. Right. So at the end of last year, you injured your arm and you were in a sling. Is that the worst injury you've ever had?
Yeah. So I would say, so I tore my labrum and had surgery this past, I guess it was in March is when I had my surgery. My senior year of high school, I also tore my labrum, same shoulder. So I had almost the same injury. I would say my first time doing it was worse than this time. I was out longer. I tore it worse. I tore it in my senior year of high school. I tore it about 90%, and this time I tore it about 70%. I think it was harder the first time because it was the first time I did it, and it was the first day of practice. So I was really looking forward to my senior year, and the first day of official practice, I tear my labrum, and I'm out the entirety of my season, and it was very frustrating, and I kind of went into kind of like a dark place, I guess. Just really upset about me not being able to do basic things like put up my hair and like being able to do the thing that I love, which was basketball. So that was really frustrating. I think it helped me, though, this time around to be able to cope with it, and I knew the ways to cope with that. So I'd say the first time I did it was a lot harder than this time. But yeah.
Did that impact the recruiting process at all?
But thankfully, no. I had already committed to Bellarmine. I committed to Bellarmine early. I committed my junior year of high school. This is where I knew I wanted to come. So it really didn't impact me. The coaches thankfully had my back, and they're like, we want you to recover, and we still want you. So it really didn't impact anything for me based on my decision of where I wanted to go to college.
Most coaches are that way, I feel like, but you do hear these stories of people getting injured and then their scholarship's gone.
Yes, I know. I'm very thankful that the coaches, stuck with me throughout my injury, and they were very supportive and, gave me advice on different things. So I was really thankful that my coaches had my back when I injured my shoulder.
Absolutely. Do the coaches keep track of how many times you're on the ground during a game?
I don't know.
Because it seems like about 10 times a game.
10 times a game. It seems like a lot. Yes. They've talked to me with my shoulder, and they're like, try to be smart about it. Especially during practice. Like, look, you don't need to dive after that ball during practice. We can save that for when you actually need to do it. So I think they pay attention to that. I don't know if they keep track of it or not.
Yeah, they've talked about having you kind of ramp down in practice a little bit because you are like full blast all the time.
I try to be. I try to, if you do it all the time, it comes natural. So I try to, do that, and then, my teammates can see that as well. Look, this is the speed we need to go. This is the effort that we need to give during practice, and then during games as well.
Some people are just wired that way. It seems like you are.
I feel like I am. If you're gonna be somewhere, you be there and do what you can. I just think if you come to practice, give it all you got. I mean, you're not gonna. What else are you gonna do?
Absolutely. So you're scoring quite a bit this year. You're averaging about 9 points a game, more than any other season in your career. Why do you think that is?
I think, after last season, we lost, two of our main scorers, and me and Coach Dugan had multiple conversations of, you really need to look for your shot more. You need to be more offensively minded. So I've really tried to, be more aggressive on offense. So I think that's where the points come from. Yeah, I think, if I, play as hard as I do, the points are going to come. So I think just trying to be mindful of looking for my shot has helped me this year.
Where do you think you've grown the most in your career?
I think, honestly, leadership. I think, starting out freshman year, I came in as a point guard. This was my first time. I didn't play a point guard in high school. And a point guard in high school and a point guard in college is a lot different from each other. So, my freshman year, I feel like I didn't really tell people what to do. I was kind of timid. I'm a freshman. Like, I don't need to be telling, the senior post player what to do. So I think I've grown in that aspect of, like, I'll tell anybody what to do on the court if they need to hear it. So I think I've talked a lot more. I know Coach Dugan jokes about this, but I would not say like words in my freshman year. I'd be like, hey, I don't know. I would not say constructive words when I was talking on the floor. So I think I've grown in that aspect of like, hey, I need the ball. Hey, you need to be doing this. I'd be saying actual words, she says now. So I think I've grown in that aspect.
Yeah, for sure. And part of that's just, getting older, earning your stripes a little bit, and you're in that type of position now because you've grinded your way up through 4 years. So you guys have been this year right there in a few games against good teams, but it's taken a while in those games for you to find a rhythm. What goes into getting off to a good start?
I think being ready is one. I think it comes with experience. I think, our team, I would consider us inexperienced. So being able to having more experience of starting games out strong, I think will help us. Just being ready to go and being able to give good energy, I think. I think the past couple of games we start out and I think we're a little timid. And I don't know if that just comes from inexperience or what, but I think we're really focusing on now getting a good start in practice and finishing out. We've done really good things in all of the games we've played. We've also done bad things, so I think we're just trying to eliminate the bad things we're doing and trying to tie in all those good things and come out with some more wins moving forward.
You break all that down during film. What's your favorite moment watching film the last 3.5 years?
My favorite moment watching film, I don't know. We watch films, and I think the funniest moments in films is when we were watching film last night, and just some of the things that you see players do is just funny. I won't say who we were watching, but this girl. Last night they're in transition and her team is going down and she just stops at half courts and ties her shoe. And we were like,
what?
I don't know if you were like, what does this girl do? The play's going on and like she's like running down and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna stop, and she just starts tying. And we were just like, what is this girl doing? So that was just funny. We like rewatched it. I think the funniest moments are just seeing like some silly things that other players do and just like rewatching it and just having a good laugh at with my teammates is probably the funnest times we have in film.
So when you're watching film, do you listen to us, the announcers, or no?
Oh, yes. We listen to the announcers.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
When we're watching our games, I think it's good.
Okay.
But we like listening to how other people are seeing the game, and it gives you a little insight. I enjoy listening to the announcers. Sometimes the announcers are like when we're watching like other teams are just bad, and it's just like so we have to turn it down. But we like listening to stuff while we're watching film.
Right.
So.
I was always curious about that because we're going to do our job. We're going to be honest and fair and say what's happening, but at the same time, like, we know that teams and players are going to watch us back and
right.
probably be listening.
Yeah.
So I was curious about that perspective. Glad to hear you don't hate us yet. We'll try to keep it that way.
Yes. No, you guys do a very good job.
Thank you. You've got a game today against Spalding. What's your pregame routine?
My pregame routine, we'll go to walkthrough today. We'll have a pregame meal. We're having Subway this afternoon. I'll probably come back. I'll rinse off. I'll probably rest, lay down a little bit, and then come back and get treatment. I guess I don't really have a pregame ritual, as you would say. I just try to stay very composed. I don't listen to music. I think,
okay.
I don't want to get. I might listen to it on the way to the gym, but I don't try to get riled up. I try to stay very composed, and I try to stay pretty composed throughout the game. So that's probably what I do before a game. Is I just try to calm myself down and get myself ready.
Well, I think that's a little unique that you don't listen to music because a lot of people do.
A lot of people do, and it'll be playing in the locker room. When we're getting ready, but I'm not, I don't have a set playlist or anything. I'm not, plugging in my earphones and being by myself. I try to be with my teammates and I try to stay, pretty composed, and that's how I get ready for a game.
Well, before we let you go to get ready for the game, you mentioned you got into PT school at Kentucky. You're waiting to hear on Bellarmine. I was curious, just with your answer about, the labrum injury, did that inspire you to want to be a physical therapist?
Yes. I've always, in 8th grade, I remember taking a career test, and physical therapy popped up, and I'd been in physical therapy throughout, my athletic career for, various, little things and little injuries. But when I did when I had my shoulder surgery, it really opened my eyes to this is what I want to do. I want to be, a physical therapist that, is that stepping stone for someone, and it was for me, to be able to recover and get back to doing what I want, what I love to do, and to be that person is something that I'm very passionate about and I want to do as a career.
So depending on whether you get into Bellarmine or not, is this definitely your last year?
This is my last year.
Okay.
With PT school, I've talked to people and they said it would be nearly impossible to do both PT school and basketball. And also, my body has been telling me this is a good way to end. Coming off of a surgery, I feel old oftentimes. So I think, this is definitely going to be my last year.
Whether people know, I've still got some left in the tank, or my body's telling me no, there's usually a pretty definitive answer by the time you get to that 4th, 5th year. Yes.
I think it's time for me to end. I've loved my 4 years here. Basketball will always be a love that I have. But yes, I think it's time for me to, start my career and get into PT school and start that. So I'm excited about that. This will be my last year of basketball.
Well, that's really exciting, Kathleen and Lean, sorry.
Oh.
And fingers crossed for a healthy and great finish to the season for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on today, and good luck against Spalding tonight.
All right, thank you.
Kathleen Scott, thanks to her for her time here on KRT Episode 8. Subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on social media at BU Knights, and make sure to join us again in our next episode. Not next week. This is our last of the semester. We will be back next semester. I'm Jack Kaiser, and Swords Up.